Yeah, it's your boy E3, son of the legendary Godfather, gangster rap, Eric Easy, Wright. And yeah, you rockin' with Knuckle TV. You know, we rich and ruthless, baby. Once again, Knuckle TV, rich and ruthless, baby. We choose to keep it real. Really though.
We're back again with Mary Perdew. V.I.B.
Most definitely. Very important boss.
I appreciate
She know what I'm talking about.
Man, she knows what she's talking about, and she knows what she's about.
And she's going to get into that.
I've been hearing some good things about Mary Perdew. Mary,
yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Perdew. I am Director of Product and Brand Development at Persepolis Brands. I also consult with other cannabis companies as well as formulate different types of medicine to treat different ailments and also ones to cure some more serious conditions like Alzheimer's, to treat dementia a little bit, but also colitis, cancer, because cannabinoids can be used in so many ways and there's so much knowledge. So kind of just here to spread that around and, you know, and prove that cancer is a medicine.
We love that. We
have
that.
a helper here.
What are some of the things that you've been going through to see that, to experience that? What motivates you to do that?
Well, my personal story was something that really brought me to my knees and, you know, turned my vision around with how I wanted to operate in the community. I used to get about 6 migraines a month, and when you get a migraine, you know, you're sensitive to light and sound and everything, and it's, you know, the worst pain, and a lot of the times, you're praising the porcelain god because you're so nauseous, and having 6 days a month like that is debilitating. You lose work, you lose money, friends, and I started microdosing about 2 years ago on THCA. I actually brought some, so you guys can check it out. It's from Guild Extracts. This is the acidic form of tetrahydrocannabinol. So it's tetrahydrocannabolic acid. And I use about 5 milligrams of this sublingually a day. And it took me from having 6 migraines a month to about 8 in the last 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, the quality of life change that I've experienced is it's insane. I never thought I would get that type of relief through cannabis, but I realized after, you know, I found the knowledge to medicate properly and have the right delivery, I found how to make medicating with cannabinoids more beneficial and more effective.
Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing.
You know?
Yeah.
Seeing is believing. That's true. I know I've been seeing some things about you on social media. You're a big advocate of the movement, and I see you're compassionate with it.
Yeah.
And I admire that. We're all here at Knuckle TV and Knuckle.com, and Knuckle MD has the same influence as you, you know?
Yeah.
But I know you're more in tune and enlightened. You enlightened me something today when I heard you coming in. Fuck Kaiser.
Yeah, pretty much.
She said it in bold.
Give us a little endo why you feel
capital
that way.
letters.
Yes.
Yeah, no, big capital letters, but Kaiser. So through my experience working with compassion and care patients over the last couple of years, I actually learned that Kaiser is taking patients off of medications that are life-saving, that improve their mental health, that improve their pain levels if they test positive for cannabis. Now, cannabis can be used alone, but it can also be used in conjunction with pharmaceutical medicines to make them more effective. So the fact that Kaiser is taking their patients off of these life-saving drugs for testing positive for cannabinoids is bullshit. You know, there's so many people who might want to take, you know, they might want to smoke a joint instead of taking a Zofran for nausea. The side effects of Zofran are insane. No one should have to want to commit suicide because they took a pharmaceutical drug.
Wow.
So I am not about Kaiser at all. And it's actually a lot of insurance-based healthcare companies will do that.
Wow, that's crazy. You know, I'm a veteran.
You are.
And I'm a veteran.
Thank you for your
United
service.
States Army 12 Bravo Combat Engineer, honorable discharge veteran, exactly. And I do go to VA for different ailments. And I've been learning more about back pain, knee pain, and it's all about inflammation in the joints. So they used to have me on all kind of different pain relieving drugs that everybody would want. You can sell in the black market. So once I got prescribed those type of medications, I turned them back in and asked for something that didn't deter my way of life.
Yeah.
So they gave me ibuprofen, and once I started looking at ibuprofen, it still has its downfalls, and that's when I got into recreational use of marijuana. It was called with a safe access at the time when it was recreational, safe access. And I didn't tell my doctor that I was doing that, but I did put the bottle down, and I haven't had joint pain in about 5 years.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. That's why I start educating myself more on the how you pronounce that word? Cannabinoid?
Cannabinoids.
Cannabinoids.
It's okay. I learned how to say it.
Cannabinoid in the building.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I know you got this thing. You got a partner.
Yeah, I have Hazel.
Yeah.
Hazel Rose. She's an amazing singer, songwriter, rapper, educator. She's just an amazing human being altogether. Her, myself, and another partner joined forces to create an event called Buds and Bosses. And the main purpose of the event is to advocate through education, to give patients a voice in the medical community, and not just the medical cannabis community, but the actual medical community.
Yes.
And to also create a segue for doctors to come into the medical cannabis community
Yes.
and really see how cannabinoids have changed the quality of life for people. So we actually have a CRPS panel. CRPS is short for Complex Regional Pain Syndrome.
Yes.
And we have 4 amazing women who all equally have like inspirational stories on how they've used cannabis to improve the quality of their lives since their diagnosis.
Wow. I love that.
And CRPS is usually, in a way, a death sentence to some of these patients. Some patients actually do die from complex regional pain syndrome. I have one panelist that actually was able to put hers into remission by using cannabinoids. So, and there's not a lot known about that condition. So to be able to take something derived from a plant and to change the quality of your life is insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
right.
just to explain how intense complex regional pain syndrome is, the pain levels these patients experience are higher than any pain scale out there. So if it's like a 10 on the top pain scale, these people are experiencing like a 13. So being able to, improve their quality of life and give them a voice to advocate for their own health care was something that I really wanted to do, because hearing it firsthand from the people that are living it, I think is what's going to be able to help sway the community and the medical community as well.
I noticed, with, your passion that you have, and we know the rules and regulations of the quote unquote of the medical field and what it's all about. It's all about the big bucks, and it's all about the big bucks paying lobbyists. I know the lobbyists that I've run across always is lobbying for access and the legalization.
Yeah.
But are you an advocate of the medical side? What are some of the ups and downs that you've been experiencing in pushing that level of compassion?
It's really hard to be able to get people to look at something that involves cannabis and for them to take it seriously in the medical community. A huge part of that is because of the federal laws that are over cannabis.
Right.
There are a couple laws that are protecting patients. The Right to Try Act was signed last year.
Yes.
And what that does is it allows patients to be able to try any drug that has gone through phase 1 of FDA trials.
Yes.
So that's not even exclusive to cannabinoids. That's or inclusive to cannabinoids. That is also, MDMA, psilocybin, LSD.
Right.
So it gave them the right to try it, but it has to go through the first phase of the FDA trials in order for it to actually be applicable for that program.
Absolutely.
The problem is getting the studies in the door and developing the drugs that are going to be changing people's lives.
Right. Well, see, that I from information that I've been gathering, because I'm, looking into it myself, some of the obstacles we're having is that some of the bigger tobacco companies is getting into this business for the CBD side, just for
Yeah.
that side, not the THC side. So you got, the Farm Bill that President Bush, not Bush, but Trump signed for farmers. But that wasn't just for, the agricultural farmer, just for farmers. There's companies that I've had meetings with that bought like, 1 million acres
Yeah.
just to grow hemp,
Yeah.
which is legal for the CB. And some of it, and one of the companies is Philip Morris.
Yeah.
Philip Morris owns about 1 million acres of growing hemp for the study of CBD because they know it's going to be legal, and Walmart probably buy from them directly first because they're already into that field.
Yeah, I don't see them making medical products with that though.
You don't?
I think I see them making more recreational products with like health and wellness claims.
Yes, yes.
And the reason being is like they're coming over from, big tobacco. Like, it's not a health industry in the first place. So unless they're gonna like completely, rework their way of business, I really just see them doing, maybe some type of oil refinement and like vapes as well as like pre-roll joints. A lot of the research that I've done, because I've been running a compassionate care program the last couple of years, I'm able to talk to patients and see what they need, what helps them. I have one patient. Her name's Carly. She's amazing. She's going to be at she's going to be on the CRPS panel. I've been providing meds for her for a couple of years now, and I can give her anything, and she, she's in so much pain and she can utilize it properly. And then there's other people who, I might give them edibles and they're like, oh, that's too much. So we try them on a topical instead because they're experiencing, some type of neuropathy or pain. So I've been able to learn a lot about the biological response firsthand with certain products, as well as all of the research studies that I've done. There is an insane amount of research that's been done in Germany, Israel, Italy, and Ireland that it shows what other receptors in the body that cannabis, triggers. And, it's really an amazing thing. And I honestly think that the cannabis plant is the one and only medicine that anybody needs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been able to make formulations based off of my research and relationships. I believe like there's one that I wrote that I believe will help reverse the protein synthesis that causes Alzheimer's. So there's like a lot, and like people hear me say this and they're like, oh, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, I've done hundreds and hundreds of hours of research, and I really just want to help people,
right.
like, like you can get high on cannabis, but like you can also use it to medicate and you don't have to get high at all.
What is that?
So this is THCA powder. This is from a great company called Guild, and I would love to give them the product shot just because they were the ones that actually gave me my first pod of THCA.
Wow.
I was at Chalice a couple years ago and I had a massive migraine. And you see? And
wow. You see that?
And
is this a powder?
Yeah, it's a powder. It's
it smells great.
They reintroduced the terpenes on it. It's animal mint cookie terpenes reintroduced. And it's because cannabinoids aren't as effective unless they're in like a full spectrum form. So that's why they reintroduced the terpenes.
Okay.
So to medicate on this every day, and this, let's get back to the story. I was at Chalice. I had a massive migraine. It was the worst migraine I've ever had in my entire life. And I actually ended up getting heat stroke and throwing up in front of like another extraction company's booth. It was really embarrassing. So he gave me this, and all I do is lick my finger like that, dip it in there. That's about all the powder I need. I put it under my tongue like that.
Wow.
And that's it. And within a month, I stopped getting my migraines.
No.
Yeah. And then I probably had about 8 in the last 2 years.
Okay.
But that's insane. I went from having 6 a month for about 9 years to having, barely any.
Wow.
Major change.
Yeah.
Major. And the name of that product is?
So this is THCA powder from Guild Extracts.
Guild Extracts. Where they're located?
They're located in San Jose, but they're in shops everywhere, all over California. They also make these if I don't microdose or if I feel like I have a migraine coming on or I'm like, feeling dehydrated or something. They have these THCA capsules or tablets. And they're 1-to-1s, 10 milligrams CBD, 10 milligrams THCA.
Wow.
and I'll take these as well. And, you know, it kind of helps the symptoms I'm having with the CBD, and then it reintroduces like a kick of THCA into my system.
You feel a buzz after that?
No, you don't. So it's the acidic forms of cannabinoids don't have a psychological effect on you.
Great.
Yeah. So this, like, if you know someone with migraines and they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to smoke."
I know a lot of
don't
people with
wanna get high,"
migraines. How can we get that?
They're a licensed brand. Oh, check them out.
Yeah.
They're a licensed brand. They're out of San Jose, but there's a ton of delivery services that deliver their products. Like people don't even have to leave the house. When you microdose on it sublingually, it actually goes into your bloodstream and gets delivered directly to your brain. So it won't decarboxylize in your stomach, because sometimes that happens with THCA edibles and you'll get really high off of it.
Right.
Yeah. So as long as the delivery is done properly, then you don't have to worry about getting high on it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then there's a couple really great cannabinoids like CBG and CBGA. CBG is cannabigerol, or the acidic version is cannabigerolic acid. And that one's actually really great for treating inflammation as well. And it also acts as like a block to the serotonin receptor and can help treat people with anxiety and depression over a long period of time.
I love it. Mary, when is the next buzz? Before I ask the question, you gave me the bud section. What are the bosses? How'd you come up with that?
So you know what? When we came up with the concept, I was sitting with my two partners, and I was actually explaining to them a formula that I had written for colon cancer. And I was explaining how the sciences worked, and they were just sitting there like dumbfounded. And I was just like, what's wrong? And they were like, that's amazing. Like, you have to do an event. And I'm the type of person who would rather be like in the background, and, you know, I don't really want like the attention or anything. But I was driving home, and the name Buds and Bosses just came to me.
Popped in.
Yeah. And
freestyled that.
Right.
yeah. And I think, you know, and we want people to be the bosses of their healthcare. You know, like you should be in control of your health and be able to make those decisions, you know, without the government or an insurance agency or a doctor hanging over you telling you, no, you can't do that because it's a plant that was made illegal over propaganda films over 80 years ago.
Wow.
You know, for tens of thousands of years, cannabis was a medicine. If you look in old medicine cabinets and preserved medicine cabinets, or even bottles of medication, one of the main ingredients is cannabis sativa. And only until the 1930s was it stigmatized.
Wow.
So,
I love it.
Thanks.
I want to thank you for educating me today.
Man, you and me both.
I mean, wow, that's what Knuckle TV is about. In the podcast, when I decided that we should bring it to the table, is bringing the education part, and that's what's needed in our community, is the education, and however you can get it. There's different podcasts out there for everything, but I just wanted to be a part of that angle and things. I want to thank you for coming in.
Of course.
NUGL TV, Mary Perdew. Give it up for Mary for coming in, man. Mary, give us a little update about your future event. When is not the current, but the next Buzz and Bosses? When do you plan on doing that?
I plan on doing that one in September.
Okay.
It's a quarterly event.
Okay.
So this one that's just about to pass, end of June. So we're thinking end of September.
Okay.
Yeah. And we actually are going to be showcasing lupus
as
our patient panel.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of patients I know that are actually coming to this Buds and Bosses that are like, we love this event. We want to learn more about it. And so just speaking to a couple of them, we decided, you know,
I like how you do it. I looked at some of one of your videos that you did. It was a Q&A, and
on the IGTV videos.
On the IGTV video, I like that.
Thank you.
I'm watching you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm doing my background vetting process. Okay. But let's give it up for Mary Perdew.
One more time.
Buzz and Bosses.
Thank you for having me, guys.
We really appreciate you, and we definitely want to see you again.
Yeah, actually, I think maybe before the next Buds and Bosses, we can get our beautiful host Hazel.
I would love that, because I
Yeah.
heard she is an artist and all creative, and that's what we want. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Hazel's amazing. You guys
Thank
will
you
love her.
again. We appreciate it. And Hazel, make sure you get here. Thank you so kind, Mary. Take care.
Thank you guys for having me.
Knuckle TV.